and that is the point of consumption tax in the state is forecast to basically, for online gambling, is flatlining in the forward estimates. It's
In revenue?
In revenue.
Yes.
There's very little growth. It's at about 3.8%, I think, out to 27, 28, which is surprising considering the growth in that sector over the previous decades. How does the Treasury and Revenue actually assess where online wagering occurs? Does it gather its own information, or does it rely on information provided by the companies?
Both. The enforcement mechanisms that sit around the POC law does require there to be data disclosures, people to register that they're providing online betting in the Australian marketplace, them to then, they are subject to information powers by Revenue New South Wales, I believe, and or liquor and gaming?
Liquor and gaming, I think.
Liquor and gaming, and yes, there are audits, and yes, we have increased, I think in the last budget, or the budget before, we actually did provide liquor and gaming with more staff to do auditing and to do enforcement of point of consumption taxes, amongst others. But also we do our independent assessments as well. The independent assessments turn more on consumption patterns in the economy than they do necessarily specifically on each company. That is, if interest rates go up, people spend less, which means that there's a retraction in the amount of money that is spent.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, people spend less if they've got less. But are you assured that that system has integrity? That there's, because the companies themselves, if the wager is made in the Northern Territory, they're only subject to a 5% POCT compared to 15% here, and in the NT, the total revenue to the Territory is capped at $1.418 million per annum. So there's a massive incentive for those wages to, and I'm not making the allegation that there's corruption there, but if the wages were directed through...
Yes, I'm concerned.
The NT, so you're concerned...
Yes, of course. When it comes to all taxes, I'm always concerned with base shifting and base erosion. Yes, and so I am concerned about that. And when it comes to gambling taxes or online taxes, constant vigilance is always called for. That is part of the reasons why we did enhance Liquor and Gaming's collection budget on this.
Because there's an inquiry underway at the moment, and there has been some questions raised about the integrity of the system with the Northern Territory Racing Commission having a lot of...
Which inquiry are you referring to?
There's a federal inquiry at the moment. There's a federal inquiry. So, but you do commit to look into that issue of the integrity of the reporting. And so Liquor and Gaming have significant powers in that area?
Well, yes, they do. But yes, I will happily commit to having a look into it and to provide you with further information.
Do they report? Do Liquor and Gaming report those audits or those investigations of online gaming companies?
Look, I don't know. I'll have to take that on notice just to see what they report.
Thank you very much.